But all we did was ask very simple questions that should be uncontroversial, and we are reporting on what Americans told us, nothing more. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? It's okay to be white. Mind-blowingly, or perhaps not, the vast majority of American adults agree, 72%, and 58% strongly agree. Only 12% disagree, and only 6% of those strongly. Now, 17% of Americans are not sure, and that's a pretty big number for a question like this, which should be a simple question to answer. To me, that is the standout number. People berated or guilted so much that they won't anonymously submit a response to an IVR call or an online survey. Now, just for those wondering, if we took out the not sures, then 86% of Americans agree with that statement, a whopping 70% strongly. But I'm going to just keep the not sures in there for all these. But just keep in mind that the agreement number here is bigger than even these numbers indicate. Men agree slightly more than women, and younger adults slightly less than older ones. But here's race, and there is a signal here. White adults are much more likely to say it's okay to be white, which I think is very telling considering how much effort has been put into convincing white Americans that it isn't okay. Only 7% of white Americans say it isn't okay to be white. Among Black and Hispanic and other race Americans, a decent majority agree, but look at those not sure numbers. A meaningful chunk of minority Americans aren't sure if it's okay to be white. 26% of Black Americans and 16% of Hispanic and other race Americans say it isn't okay to be white. Here's party. 83% of Republicans agree and only 6% disagree. But look at Democrats. Democrats by a huge majority, 69%, and with 51% strongly agreeing, say it's okay to be white, and only 12% say it isn't. Take out the not sure responses, and it's 86% of Democrats, which is significantly higher than Biden's approval rating among Democrat voters. Let me say that again. More Democrats say it's okay to be white than say they at least somewhat agree with the job Joe Biden is doing as president. There isn't much to say about independents, except they poll closer to Democrats on this one, which is pretty atypical of the recent behavior. Now, I think this is a pretty big deal. We just proved that the vast majority of Americans, 88%, either agree with or refuse to answer whether they agree with a statement that the Southern Poverty Law Center has literally labeled hate speech. Don't you think that's a big deal? Why hasn't one single pollster asked this question? Why haven't the House pollsters at any newspaper or news networks asked this? All right, we're not stopping there. Let's take a look at a core tenet of critical race theory. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Black people can be racist too. 79% of Americans, even more than it's okay to be white, agree, 53% strongly, and the same 12% disagree. Only 10% are not sure here. Men and women are within spitting distance, as are the ages, though younger Americans are less likely to strongly agree. But here's race. 83% of white Americans say Black people can be racist too, essentially acknowledging also that they themselves are capable of being racist. But look at Black voters. 66% also agree, and only 27% disagree. Only 8% are not sure, much less than the number which was in the 20s for the previous question. So again, the overwhelming majority of Black Americans disagree with what is currently being taught about race in schools, colleges, corporate and government training sessions, and assumed to be fact by most talking heads in the news. Here are the party numbers. Democrats agree almost as much as Republicans, though they are meaningfully less likely to strongly agree. Only 19% of Democrats, however, are buying the concept that Black people can't be racist, and only 11% strongly. So let me leave you with a question, if you haven't asked it of yourself already. All Americans, and most notably Democrats and even Black Americans, overwhelmingly and completely agree with a statement that has been declared racist hate speech. And an even bigger majority, again, most notably Democrats and Black Americans, agree with a statement that is seemingly at complete odds with the critical race theory pedagogy. So why